Hello. Hi everyone. Welcome to Selenium Python training program. Today we are going to discuss about conditional statements. So why these conditional statements are required for us? See, really in an automation world, these conditional statements will derive lots and lots of functions for us, lots and lots of uses for us basically. In a simple example, what I can say means assume that you have a test case to log in into your Gmail application. If the login is successful, then it should verify the inbox button. If the login is failed, then it should print a fail message and stop the script execution. In such situations, we can use a conditional statements. In majority of the situations, to see whether something got displayed or not. In such situations, we can use this conditional statements. If statements are control flow statements, which helps us to run a particular code only when a certain condition got satisfied. If the condition is satisfied, then only run this code. Else, you no need to run this particular code. The syntax for this if is if followed by a condition name, and if that condition is true, then you have to write down the logic, corresponding logic inside that. So like this you have to define the if block. So what I'm going to do right now means, let me switch back to my editor, create a new program and see how this is going to work. New Python file, example 7, and here a equal to 5, b equal to 4. See, I would like to write down an if condition. See here, I would like to write an if condition. If A is greater than B, then print A is big to the console. Okay, like this, I want to do that. So, if space. So, it is asking for a condition A greater than B. So A greater than B is the condition. If you observe the syntax, immediately after the condition, you need to give a colon here. So I'm entering a colon and immediately I'm pressing an enter from my keyboard. As soon as I press enter in my keyboard, guys, if you clearly observe the seventh line, it is starting from here. Okay, the seventh line, it is starting from here, whereas the sixth line is starting in this particular place, whereas for the seventh line we have a huge space followed by this line is starting. So why this much of a space we have for this seventh line? See, in other programming languages, whenever we started down a condition, there it has an open braces followed by a closed braces, which will state that the logic defined within these braces will be applicable to a if block. Whereas in a Python programming, we don't have that much braces and all those things. So directly, we do have a space, a tab space for everything. If I define a if condition, as soon as I press the enter, it is starting from here, which means that the lines which are starting in this tab space will execute inside my if block. See, let me show you an example for that. So here, print A is big. For suppose I have a started here. Now let me run my script for now. Run as an example 7. A is big got printed. For suppose in this example I have a value as a 5 and a B value as a 4. Now I am changing to B value to 14. When I run my example 7, nothing is getting printed. The reason is, as this condition got a failed, nothing is there. For suppose if I am writing something in a ninth line at the starting, print test completed. See here, the ninth line is starting with the starting position itself. It doesn't have any tab space in that. When I run my test script, see, test completed. So the point out over here is, if anything is having after a tab space, then it is applicable to A greater than B. How would I know this the line number 7 is applicable to A greater than B? See here, guys, if you observe at this particular point, I have a highlighted. Okay, I'm placing my cursor in the seventh line and it is displaying as a greater than b. For suppose I changed my cursor position to the ninth line, the place whatever I have highlighted, it's not displaying anything. If I place that particular line number 7, it is stating that this line comes under an if block a greater than b. Like that, it is displaying here. So the bottom line is, whenever you are starting any kind of a conditional statements, methods, whatnot, everything in this Python, you just need to follow inside with a tab space. If I have a tab space, then it will fall inside a if. For suppose I removed this tab space, what it will happen? See, let me try to run my script and see how this is going to work. See here, I'm getting an error message, and that particular error message out over here is expected an indented block, intended block basically, right? Indentation error basically we are getting here. So whenever you started anything, it should have a tab space followed by that. Okay, now when I run my example, I am not getting that particular error message. So if I use any if conditions or for loops, while loops, methods, anything, then immediately after this column, you should have certain lines which will have a tab space. And for suppose in my eighth line, I can say I can start it from here, not a problem, not a props here. So when I run my test scripts, it can execute it. That's not a big deal basically. Okay, so like this, we need to define a conditional statements. In this example, guys, straightforward, we have a logic for only if. So it means if this condition is true, then only the logic present in the if block will be executed. So we do have an else also. Else print B is a big. So I'm stating that if the condition is a true, then execute the logic present in an if block. If the condition is a false, then execute the logic present in an else block. So when I run this script, in this situation, B is a big got printed as this condition is a false. A is a 5, B is 14, A greater than B is false. Hence, it is directly executing the else block code. Whatever the code we have in an else block, it's executing that. Depending on our need, we can use this if else block, nested if else. Too many blocks are there, but we will see those examples moving further whenever we are working on WebDriver directly. But here we can see a simple example of a if and a if else. See, this is an example for if else. Let me add an example for if a greater than b, print a is a big. That's it. So this is an example for if else and this is an example for if. That's it. Nothing more than that. So this is the basic concept which I have in this session, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.